This is Binal Starley from the Dime Lab over at NC State. I wanted to share our research on in cyber manufacturing, specifically looking at can we share and reuse CAD/CAM data for design and services accessibility. Imagine there's lots of service providers that have a ton of CAD/CAM data that is already built over historical use of their data. So, for example, we have lots of manufacturers sharing data that already exists within their data stores. And if you could share what they have produced in the past with a cloud manufacturing resource of sorts, some software layer that allows you to connect clients with manufacturers. And if all of the data is protected and the data belongs to the service providers, could we have now clients that could search for models that they were looking for and then parametrically change existing designs to fit what the client is needing, and then have that data drive down to the machines that could potentially make it. And the point being that because the client is working with data that already exists, the data version of it already exists, then it takes significantly less time for a manufacturer to sort of create that part, sort of dropping the cost it takes to for a client to rapidly interrogate and produce models out there. A bit more technical details on how this would work. Say, for example, we have a client and you have a service provider with lots of machines that they would have. And before I show the demo, I wanted to show a brief overview of the various of middleware architecture that allows this work. So a client could have a client browser, 3D models that this particular service provider has produced in the past. The service provider would then adjust parameters that the service provider has made available to adjust and custom fit to what the client is requiring. And then the data is then updating the models to ensure that the client can see what the most updated, more recent model would look like. And once that is done, then be able to send that data that allows say, for example, the G code of that particular part to be updated. It could be a 3D printer, it could be a CNC machine, and then have that data drive down to the machine that could make it. So here we have, let's assume a service provider has produced a part like this in the past, and then they would love to share this with the cloud manufacturing service provider so that it allows other clients to find this resource and be able to adjust design parameters on this. So we have set up a Fusion interface that allows you to start a server that automatically shares this data to a cloud service provider. So we've just demonstrated that in terms of getting into the cloud manufacturing middleware, the data is then exported. That then allows a client to say potentially find this resource on the client end, where we now have a browser that demonstrates how we've taken this CAD model and then shown that it can be displayed onto a browser. It's just refreshing the screen that allows you to then take that STL model. You can have various abilities to share the STL models that particular service provider has done. There are control panels that allow you to display the kinds of parameters that this CAD model can change, and so that allows you to update the G code, for example. Or if it's 3D printed, then it is the relevant 3D printing parameters that you can use to change models that can be made on specific machines in there. And so, for example, this model here, you could change the base height, the center circle diameter, for example, the drill diameter, as long as there's documentation describing each of these design parameters linking back to the design. And so now you have the model that is displayed to the client. Notice that the data is protected from intellectual properties. All these design dimensions, so these parameters that are exposed by the service provider or the owner of this data, that service provider can then decide what needs to be changed. So for example, I can change the drill diameter to specific values that the client or the service provider has made available. The client, on the other hand, can only choose the parameters that is best suited to what they want. It updates the CAD model to reflect the actual most recent updated here. But not only that, it also updates the back end server that is running on the service provider end that reflects the actual CAD model. Again, all of this is happening in the cloud. and not really having humans sitting at the service provider adjusting this. And then once the base heights, let's say more parameters can be adjusted, they're happy with the design, then you change to say the top height, a few models out there, you update the model, and then what happens as soon as this updates, it shows the updated CAD model, and then the model is updated here. But not only that, you can also have the G code file also updated simultaneously, and that's really the power that enables this to happen. At this point, you can also have a human intervene and check if this code is working before the data is sent over to the machine, either be a 3D printer or a CNC. So we have also gone one step further to give additional capability for the client to even stream the data coming from the machine to the client, so the client can actually see what is being produced. This could be a 3D printer, this could be actual data streams coming from the machine itself. It could be either live or it could be a pre-recorded in the instances that you want to check for compliance in terms of the actual G code that is being run. Here we show an instance of how the service provider may have shared a particular IP address to that instance of the digital twin of the machine that is running on the cloud, and then you can trace back the exact path that was used by the machine to produce this model. So in this instance, the manufacturer does not have to share the specific process steps that were used. The G code file doesn't have to be shared. The G code file simply is updated based on the design parameters that they have selected, and then the client though can check if the cutting tool path is as that was prescribed by the person. And this really is depending on if the client ever needs to see this path. Now this could be the same thing done also for a 3D printer as well, in checking and viewing and giving more power to the client to interact with some of the data with the manufacturer, and that the service provider also knows what data is being shared with the client. So what we're really showing here is that service providers or asset owners of 3D models can now share parametric versions of the models that they have, specifically exposing parameters, design parameters of the model that they would like to share, and then clients on the side can then adjust to fit what they need, and then be able to have that product built. And what we're showing is a series of middlewares that sort of make this happen so that it can automate a lot of the activities that could take could help reuse some of the data that already exists, and sort of hopefully reduce also the workload that in terms of gaining access to the kinds of models that service providers have done. It certainly does increase the complexity of data being shared, but since computing algorithms sort of take care of that, it enables both clients and designers to find each other and to enable a marketplace that can benefit both sides simultaneously. It doesn't raise a lot of questions in terms of how this would potentially work, especially with the kinds of softwares that we use both in browser and versus at the machine end. And the way we've made this work is there is cloud-enabled software that allows it to happen, but there's also direct access to the service provider machines that enable it to happen. And various software stacks can be added or removed depending on what capability is provided. But it does have implications in terms of creating new marketplaces. It has implications in security concerns. It has implications on what data can be shared and cannot be shared. But it does throw in an interesting paradigm of how we could enable cyber manufacturing to improve the accessibility of data that can be shared and that can be reused for new product innovation.